Hi, it's Josh again. I'm here to review another movie, and the next movie I'm going to be reviewing is for a movie called Dunkirk, and it's the newest movie by Christopher Nolan. And this movie is about it takes place in World War II, and British, the British Empire and France are being held, surrounded by the German army, and they try to escape. And I really like the second half of this movie better than the first half of this movie, because the first half of this movie, it took me kind of a while to get into this movie because there's no dialogue and there's not really any character development, which is my biggest and only problem with the movie, because the rest of the movie, the second half, is really intense. It has really good acting. Harry Styles is in this movie. And I didn't even know Harry Styles was in this movie. I had to kind of look it up afterwards, the people in this movie. And this movie has fantastic cinematography. Obviously, it has really good cinematography because it was directed by Christopher Nolan. And he always has good cinematography. Even if the movie is kind of so-so, he always has good cinematography. And this is a very, very tragic story. And it is really intense towards the second half. And I really like this movie because it tells the true story of Dunkirk. And I think the score is really good by Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer always has good scores. And yeah, I think this movie is a little bit overrated. However, I think it's a good movie. And I understand why they had no dialogue in terms of they wanted to tell you the true story of how it really happened. But there was a couple parts of this movie where, in order to make the story work for film, I think they needed some more dialogue, because there was certain parts of this movie that they had the opportunity to have really good dialogue, and they just don't have good dialogue they just don't have any dialogue for the first half of this movie, and that's really disappointing. And I was a little bit bored by the first half of this movie because, like I said, the second half, it really picks up really good towards the second half of this movie. And it has an amazing finale, and I think if you go into this movie knowing that the first half does not have a lot of dialogue, I think you're going to be okay with it. But if you go in expecting this big action, lots of dialogue movie, I think a lot of people are going to be just a little bit disappointed by it. And yeah, overall, that's my very quick review of the movie. I would give this movie a B. And it would have gotten a higher rating if it had a better first act. Because there's a point in this movie that when something happened, I'm not going to say what, but when this certain thing happened, it was really intense. I was on the edge of my seat from that point on to the end of the movie. I was at the edge of my seat. And I wish the whole movie was like that. I wish the whole movie had me on the edge of my seat. But unfortunately, I don't. The first act, there was something there, but it was just missing the dialogue, and I felt a little bit bored by the movie. So overall, like I said, this movie gets a B. I think it's like I said, a little bit overrated, but I don't think this is one of Christopher Nolan's best. I think the Dark Knight trilogy is a much better films in my opinion. And yeah, that's my quick review of the movie. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I would recommend this movie at least for one watch. I would suggest either a matinee or wait for Netflix. Okay? Bye.